This
guys.
conference will now be recorded.
So Naresh is one of our senior senior one who works on all this Python shell scripting. He has good knowledge. So he'll be presenting today about all the Python scripts, how, why, all the agenda, what we have presented so far. So he'll be dealing with that. So Naresh, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the team, and we can start from there.
Yeah, thanks, Lair. Hope my voice is clear.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Lair, for confirming.
Yes.
Okay, let's start our discussion. So today we are about to discuss about what exactly the Python is. So why exactly the name came into picture suddenly from the past 3 years? Why exactly people are talking about Python and all? Right, all these things we go. Before this, I just want to introduce myself Naresh, who is having a very good experience with 8+ years with completely development. So I have worked for various technologies like Python. I work for even R language. I also work for mainframes, like which includes COBOL and all. So this is about my experience. So and also giving the training from the past 5 years. Fine. I tied up with several organizations. So now let me thank Micronet for providing this opportunity to present webinar to the crowd. So let's start our discussion. Fine. So this is all about today's agenda. So we will discuss all these things. So what is Python first? And we will also discuss about history and versions of Python. So why we have to choose Python? So what are the features with Python has, and where exactly the Python is derived from, the scope of the Python, and who is using Python? So different flavors, salary trends, how to install Python, and how easy to learn Python. So all these things we will try to discuss today. So before this, I just want to understand the crowd who are listening. So what you are expecting out of Python, and I just want to understand your background. So where you are from, and all these things. Can someone initiate and start introducing yourself? I just want to understand the crowd who are listening.
Hey Naresh, this is Vijay here. I have been working as Oracle DBA for last couple of years, and as you said, I have been hearing more about Python nowadays, and I'm eager to know about it, and looking to start learning Python very soon.
Okay, thanks. Fine. So you are a Oracle DBA, so you are looking to automate things with the help of Python. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So anybody else who want to introduce?
Hi Naresh, I'm Sharat.
Hi Naresh.
Yeah, one by one. This anybody can start. Yeah. Yeah, somebody go ahead.
Hi Naresh. My name is Sharat.
Hi,
I've
Sharon.
been working on Python for the past 2 years.
Okay.
I'm looking for opportunities in data science. Uh,
Okay.
so all my projects are based on Python. So I'm pretty comfortable with uh, data science packages related to Python, in Python. So
Okay.
I have like intermediate knowledge. Uh, I just want to like see if there is anything more I can learn from Python in this session.
Okay. So actually, see, this is just an introductory section. So fine. Just you can have a look, but in future section, definitely I will try to explore you with the more libraries where exactly the Python can be used in which sections and all. So
Yeah,
as of
sure.
now, yes, it's just an introductory section about the Python.
Okay, it helps to understand more about the language.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Hey,
anybody else? Yeah.
hi Naresh, this is Kranti.
Hi,
Yeah,
Kranti.
again, I'm a DBA, but again, what exactly I would like to learn from this session is why Python is so good in compared to other languages like I mean, is a Python is a front end language or a back end language? Because I have been heard like both how it compete with each other. That's one thing. And the second question is like again, I'm also looking for some long core session course like where I can learn like from the basics to the some intermediate level. That's what like is I mean, do we have any kind of a session or a training is going to start? Anything?
Okay. Fine. Thanks for your inputs. We'll let you know all these things at the end of the presentation. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else like to go? So fine. As of now, we have seen so around two, three people who are a part of DBA, and one person is already working on a Python. He's just looking for insights with the help of data science and all. So any apart from this, anybody working in different production support, working with some other technologies like operation site, all these things. Okay, if all are falling in these two categories, then fine. So we can just start our session. So this is all about agenda today. Fine. We'll go ahead. So we'll try to understand some more one by one. So we will try. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Abbas Gupta. I'm a student of second year. So basically, I want to know what the difference between this Python and other coding languages
Oh,
also.
okay. Fine. Fine, Gupta.
Okay,
Thanks for
thank you.
input. Yeah. So yeah. So let's start our discussion with the topic on what is Python. So generally, Python is nothing but a general purpose programming language. So what is the meaning of general purpose? All these things we will see in the next slides. So now see, so Python is general purpose, high level interpreter, and dynamically types. So we'll try to explain one by one. So let's go ahead. So this, what exactly the general purpose is, there is no restriction for Python. It can be used anywhere. So if you want to build a desktop application, yes, you can use Python. If you want to build any web-based application, yes, you can use Python. If you want to build anything else like mobile applications, a desktop application, GUI application, and IoT applications, and for nowadays it's very booming because of its data science and machine learning algorithms. So there is no restrictions for any Python for using only for this purpose. So for example, we have something called as Gosu language, which can be used only at the part of like guideware environment. So I will take another example called as Apex. So generally, this is the mainly contribution towards the Salesforce environment. So for example, if you take C language, we cannot use it for web applications. So likewise, every language has some restrictions, whereas Python is not having any restrictions. You can use this anywhere. So that is the reason they have named it as a general purpose programming language. Fine. Okay, let's go ahead and let's think about the high level. High level is it's nothing but English, pure English language. If you go with like assembler language or something like this, where everything is completely command based, or the functions they have used or the methods which they invoke inside the language, it's very difficult to understand and remember. So whereas a Python is very high level language where so wherever we are having any chance of automation, so where you can use this Python language. Fine. Let's go with another thing called as Python is also called as interpreter language. So there are two type of things in this. So we'll try to understand. So why it is interpreted language? So interpreter this language is nothing but, see, when you write any code, so first of all we have to compile that code. So once it is compiled, it will convert the written code, that is our English written code, into a machine understandable language. People call it as an object code. When the object, with the help of only object, we can able to execute. So whereas Python is not at all a that type of language. Python is a interpreter language. So for example, if it is a JavaScript, so in what way you will write, in the same way we will compile, execute it directly. So there is no more changes, no more intermediately. For example, if you take Java language, so if you write any program, so first of all you have to convert that into a class format, dot class file, and that class file only we can use it for execution purpose, whereas Python is not having any intermediate purpose. So directly whatever the code you can write, you can directly execute it. Right? Some of them are internally converted, some of them are not internally converted. Python has internally converted it to understandable language and work it. So there is no intermediary between what we have written and what we are about to execute. Both are same. So that is called as interpreted language. Now, so we will try to understand these words more in the last part. So I will explain this. So why it is called as interpreted and all. And we'll also discuss about this dynamically type at the end. But as of now, what is exactly dynamically typed is, for example, you are declaring any variable, for example, X, Y, A, B, C, whatever. So no need to give any type. So for example, in C language or Java language, definitely we have to give the type of the variable you are about to declare, right? For example, in the db2 table, we have to give name, and we also we have to give it as a varchar. A type has to be mandatory. For a date type, we have to give date and small int, and all these concepts comes into a picture. So whereas Python, we will never give any type of things. So that is the reason people call it as a dynamically typed language. Right. So any questions as of now?
Hi, Naresh. One
Yeah.
question. So
Yes.
again, if I'm not wrong, the Python was introduced a very, very long back, right? It was around like 20, 25 years back, right? But again,
Yes.
we were hearing the words like Python programming recently. So, I mean, why it's so like why is nowadays it's more on grooming?
Yeah. There is one slide for this. Okay. I will be explaining the versions part, and while explaining the versions part, definitely I will include this point as well.
Okay, thanks.
Fine. Thanks. Now, so actually the name Python is derived from, generally the Python means a snake, but the author of this Python is Guido van Rossum. So generally he was working on he was a part of one of the director and for developing a ABC language, right? So he come out of that and he started working on the Python. So while developing, he never given any name for that. So but he was a very big fan of, there is one circus called as Monty Python's Flying Circus. So because of what only, so he has given a name called as Python. There is no rule or something like that, he just given the name. So because he was a very fan, so it used to come in BBC channel in 1970s. Fine. Okay. Fine. So here are some of the point I just want to explain you. So Python is a combination of many different languages. So he copied several features which he liked. So whenever he started coding, so he understood that some functionalities are very good in this particular language, some functionalities are very good in this particular language. So what he did is he copied all those functionality as converted into a language called as Python. So we'll discuss in the next slide what he copied. So and we can also see here he started implementing in the year 1989. Okay, and then the first version officially has released in 1991. So which is actually Java has been introduced in 1996, which is ahead. And all the features Python is having, presently the Java is having, so more number of features already having existing in the Python itself, but still it was not popular. We will discuss in coming slides why it was like that. Fine. So this is about versions of Python. So we can see here in 1991 the beta version has been released, and actually in 94 the first Python version has been released, and it keep on releasing. One by one, one by one, one by one, and you can see the current version with respect to 24th of February, and now also it's already 3.8.3 also released. As of now the version is 3.8.2. Now, let me try to answer one of the question by like why exactly Python is coming into picture now. So the reason behind the coming into picture, the usage. So we can see here Python has more than 250,000 libraries, right? It is very huge, and it is also having very big community, right? And mostly whenever a Google and even Facebook and YouTube started using this Python language, then the popularity came into picture, because they have introduced so many libraries which are useful for machine learning and data science concepts, and then people understood the easiness of Python. So before that it was not at all a famous. So when Google adopted its feature and also developed one application with the help of like notifications which we are receiving in the Facebook, and also the suggestions which we are receiving in the YouTube. Once we start seeing one video, we can see hell lot of videos similar to that type of category, keep on giving these suggestions to that. So for this type of algorithms they have used Python language. So internally they have used Python for developing a machine learning models in that. So that's where it became very famous. Let me show you one thing. Okay. So this is the official website. So where we can see here something called as p by PyPy. Okay, so which is nothing but package index library. So where you can see all the packages. See, you can see here 2,44,699 libraries has been imported as part of Python. Right. So the trend of increasing these libraries is past from 5 years. So before this, Python is a language, yes, but it doesn't have any special features. So when people started developing different types of libraries and trying to import it as part of Python programming, then actually the name of Python comes into a picture. Hope I answer your question.
Yes, Naresh.
And no other languages. For example, if you go with Java language, we can have a maximum of 250,000 libraries. That's it. That is, I'm saying maximum. That is only a 10% of Python. Fine. And one thing for pretty much sure, still the banking application will never use Python as of now in the market. Reason behind is Java is having a concept called as bytecode, where banking applications will seriously trust it now till now. So, but Python is working on that with a later version. They keep on increasing the concepts. So what happened in future? Definitely all will convert into a Python. Fine. So then the next concept is why we have to choose Python. So it is very easy to understand and learn. The syntax of the Python is very easy. So likewise, we used to write algorithms in our childhood days. The same way we will write Python programming. There is no change in that. So we'll see some sample example, then you will understand how easy the Python is. So it's also a free and open source language. Now you can also aware that Java has become commercial. It's not a open source. Once Oracle has bought the Java, now they have converted that into enterprise application, right? It's already an enterprise, but it converted into a commercial application, so that now it's not at all a freeware. So that is also one of the reason where people started thinking to develop a new part of their any application with the help of Python. And now few codes of lines, and we can develop it in very less time. So why fewer codes? We will see at the end. And it is approved by data science. This is the one of the most important thing is, so data science declared Python as their official language, and also R. So R mostly used for statistical purpose. So whereas this Python will use for complete visualization, stretching, ETL kind of processing. Everywhere it has been used, and it is having a very huge community. For example, if you have facing any difficulty with the any like Python language, just post it in community. Definitely within 5 to 10 minutes you will definitely get a response in whatever the like Stack Overflow, wherever you post the question. So that's how the huge community the Python is. And now we'll try to look at features of Python. So one thing understand, so C is a procedural language, whereas Java is a object oriented language. But whereas Python is both procedure and also object oriented language, we can use in both ways. Right. The first feature is object oriented, and now you can also use this Python for class platform applications. So what do you understand by this class platform is, so if you are developing one application on one platform, so you can use it anywhere in other platform, because there is no intermediary conversion concept here. So we can use it in any platform. For example, if you are developing anything on a Windows application, yes, you can also work it on, it will also work on Linux application, Linux OS, and also it will work on Mac OS. So there is no dependency with the platforms where exactly we are writing the code. And it is having a rich libraries. I think I have already shown you that. So presently near to 2,50,000 it is having a libraries because of it. So people have started using it. And now it's very simple to use. So just we have to import some packages. We can use any library which is readily available, and installing of a package will not even take a 2 to 3 seconds of time. So that's where we can entirely use the package concepts, what it is. We will discuss one by one. Right. And it will be integratable with anything. For example, there is an existing functionality, so which is very much prettily working good in C language. Okay, for example, see, and if any of your company or insurance company, they know that they have some application which related to the payments. So it is very, and they are very much trusted because they are using this application from the past 10 years. Fine. So we can just copy that code and paste it. The same language, like suppose it has been developed in C language, yes, you can still do it. Fine. So that's how it is integratable with any language. And now elegant syntax. So due to very easy syntax, we will proceed with this Python language. So once I start showing a simple application, simple small program, then you will understand the beautiness of Python. And now, so this is how the Python has been derived. So what exactly Guido van Rossum did is, so when he was researching, working on this application, he picked all the main features of different languages and developed the same things in Python language. So that's where it became a full compact language where everybody started using it. For example, you know C language, you don't know about object oriented language, yes, you can go ahead and use Python language. You know any shell scripting language and you want to go ahead and use Python, yes, you can use it. For example, they have copied the functional programming features, like people used to call functions in C language. So they have copied that functionality, and they have copied so oops features from C++ language, and scripting features from Perl and shell scripting language, and modular programming features from Modular 3, and many other features from ABC and Smalltalk. So this thing, so I know most of the DBAs are already aware of. 1 minute, sorry. Yeah, are already aware of Perl or shell scripting for automating tasks. So now you can understand. So whatever the features which are available with the shell scripting, and they have converted that into Python concepts with a very easy and reusable syntax things. And if you are very good at oops concept like Java or C++, yes, you can convert very easily, and they have add on several features in the Python. And one thing, remember, Python has been released earlier than Java. So they have not copied the features from Java, right? They have copied from C++. Now, so what are the type of applications we can develop with the help of Python? So before moving, anybody have any questions related to all these things? Fine. If no questions, then we can proceed further. Right. So different applications we can develop with the help of Python. So one is like web applications. So we can develop different types of web applications with the help of Python. So Python, with the help of Python, they have built some frameworks called as Django, which is very famous in European countries, and also they have developed something called as Flask. So with the help of these two frameworks, it is very easy to develop web applications. And it is also used for data analysis. Okay, so Python is a leading language chosen by data analysis. For example, I was a data analyst earlier. So what we used to do, so there are several ways to analyze the data. Somebody will give the data in Excel sheet. Somebody will give the data in databases. Somebody will give the data in sub files. So there are different types of data which will be into a programming language, or we wish to start analyzing, right? So with the help of Python, we can easy this analysis concept. So there are something rich popular libraries called as NumPy and Panda, right? So NumPy will accept even n number of occurrences or array n dimensionally, and Pandas is also very huge library for mathematical related things, right? So with the help of these two libraries, we can do our analysis very easily. Right. And we also called as concept called as matplotlib library, so which is generally used for data visualization. And now, Python is also preferred language for machine learning. So for predictive analysis, so there is something called as scikit-learn. So with the help of this, so we can develop a models in such a way that it will keep on reading and tracking how exactly our application is working. So it will capture the entire information and we can retrain it, so that we can build a machine learning models very easily with the help of Python. And now, so we have a module called as Pygame, right? So with the help of this module, we can even develop apps, sorry, games. So games are like Android games or iOS game, whatever the games you want. So everything we can develop with the help of Pygame. So no need to learn any other language. So if you are good in Python language, yes, you can go ahead and even develop the games. And it's also used for automations. So if you are doing anything repeated, yes, you can go ahead and use the Python for automation. For example, if you want to send emails, yes, you can do. If you want to send messages in the WhatsApp groups for your marketing, yes, you can do with the help of Python very easily. And you want to convert a group of files into zip format for your security automatically, yes, you can achieve it with the help of this. And if you want to write any scripts for copying MP4 files, audio files, video files, and also there's something called as something of voice recognition concepts, and all these things we can do with the help of Python. Whatever the say which I have said is very little things. Many things we can achieve with the help of Python. So any questions so far?
Saying you're saying that the Python is came before Java, right?
Yes.
And then it took this many years to come to with all the features. Uh, I think it came after Python, Java. I think so, right? Or,
No, it has been introduced in 1991 itself. The first version has been released in 91 itself. Okay, Java has been the Java first version has been released in 96. Okay, so but what happened means, as I said, it has been approved by data scientists. So for the statistical analytics and data visualization concepts, then people came to know about what exactly the Python is. So before that, they never did any such type of marketing. Yes, the language was still there. And
okay.
now you can say one thing like there is something called as tool called as Jenkins as part of DevOps. They have been created this 16 years back, but now people are using it. Reason behind, now a automation came into a picture. So where everybody, the operations team required an automation model where the programs or application has to be continuous deployment. So it similar kind of things. Any questions? I hope I answer your question. Fine, let's go ahead.
Yes, yes, Naresh.
Okay, thanks. 1 minute. Yes. So different types of applications we can develop with the help of Python. So Python can be commonly applied in more domains that can cover here. So whatever the things which I'm just covering, it's just a simple list. So not only this, we can use it in various applications. So one is nothing but image processing. Nowadays you can see everywhere the image processing required. You know about the Google Lens, right? So internally they have used Python for image processing. Okay, so and something called as robot control programming. So and you can also say something called as nowadays RPA bots and all comes into a picture, right? So similarly, we can develop this type of application, and natural language analysis we can also use for web development, data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, right? So these are the different libraries which are available as part of the Python. So all these things are which I have marked, you can use it, and you can also see the respective libraries I have mentioned, right? So for web programming, so in the internal table you can see Django will be used. For GUI programming we can use something called it. And for data science we will use NumPy pandas. For data engineering, system administrator, we can use everything. And in the left side of the presentation we can I have given something called as for GUI we will use with respect to application that I have mentioned, so that it will be useful. So for example, a person is targeting for any job with respect to scientific computing, yes, he should learn a basics of Python so that he can learn NumPy and start. And let's suppose if he is focusing on data visualization, let's suppose see what I did is where I have developed one application where in our organization which is used for timesheet management. So everybody in the companies where log their times against the project. Let's suppose I have given estimations of working for a particular project of 200 hours. There are 4 employees working on this, and they keep on logging their time. So I just want to I what they did is, so I have developed one Excel sheet where they have to enter the data. So once they submit the application, sorry, save the Excel sheet, so a chart will be developed. So it will show you how much amount of estimations which we are given and which is covered. So whether are we on par with the application. So with the help of data visualization, yes, we can understand the situation. And there is something called as natural language processing. So it is a deep learning concept where people will build languages or train the applications, right? And we can use, if you are focusing on game development, yes, we have to learn Pygame. We have to learn a Python basics completely, and then we have to target on Pygame. Let's suppose you want to become a web application developer. You have to learn Python, and then you have to go with Django or Flask, right? If you want to, if you are with a GUI applications, for example, you are completely working on C language from the past several years, right? And definitely C language we can't use for web-based application. We have to go with GUI applications itself. So with the help of this, yes, we can develop this language. Fine. And who are using Python? So you can see every big name over here. So YouTube, Google, Dropbox, Raspberry Pi, Netflix, NASA, BitTorrent, and even NSA is also using Python. So we can see also I have mentioned where they have used. So for they have Google has used for web search. For example, you have opened Google and you start typing something, and automatically it will start predicting the next word. For example, I said Python, so it will say why Python and all these things in the below lines. So how exactly it is doing? So for that they have built one algorithm with the help of Python, right? And now Dropbox have used it for client server hosting, and Raspberry Pi you might have seen this is a very small application generally which is not if you want, let's suppose see there's something called as ID card scanner. So if you want to develop it, so but you don't want to maintain a very large database for that, yes, you can go ahead and use Raspberry Pi for that. The same way every application has used internally somewhere or somewhere the Python. Right. So there are different types of flavors in the application, flavors in the Python. So there is something called as PyPy, there is something called as C Python, there is something called as Iron Python, J Python, Micro Python, Ruby Python. So what all this about? See, there is something called, you can see here, J Python, right? So what exactly the J Python is nothing but people call as Java Python, right? So this has been developed on Java. The Python compiler has been completely developed on Java. So where what you can do is you can write a Python program itself, but the thing is, like, whenever you compile that, it will create a dot class file. So machine understandable dot class file. So what happened to an existing, what I said, Python is a interpreter. To an existing language, you can develop some part of the code on Python itself, because it's very easy, because of its huge range of applications or libraries. Everything can be developed very easily. But you can see, for example, I have a company, I already have an application which is completely developed on Java. But why I will go for Python? But let's suppose you got some scenario where uh, you want to perform some task. The same task can be performed with the help of Python in 2 days. The same thing with the help of Java, maybe it will take 15 to 20 days. Yeah, definitely I will go with an option called as Python. But all my investments are on Java. I don't want to go with Python and all. So so what happened means they have created an application called as Jython. So what we can do, we can even still write a program on Python, and once we compile that, we will get a dot class file which is understandable by a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So that's where C Python is also there, Ruby Python is also there, Bry Python, Iron Python, all these things there. So whatever the applications which are running existingly, you want to integrate with the Python, yes, you can integrate it very easily with the help of these flavors. Any questions on this? Fine.
No.
Fine, thank you. Right. So this is about salary trends in the present market. So we can see for a machine learning developer, yes, he's earning around 1,43,000. So this is average salaries from I have pulled this all information from the LinkedIn. So this is how people are earning for data scientist, machine learning, and Python. Pure Python also, there are several requirements, right? Fine. So now we will try to understand how to install Python. Okay, so then I will show you some small application. So with that, you understand, you can understand that how easy we can code with the help of Python, right? Okay, let us go to, fine. Yeah, so this is the official website, so python.org. So it's very simple to install Python. So here just go to downloads, and we have something called as Windows. If you are using Mac, so you can select this. Presently I'm working on Windows, so I will select this Windows application. You can see here the latest version is 3.8.3, but I will always prefer using some older versions of the Python, because there might be some errors, or there might be some of our existing program which will support only your older versions and all. So and one thing I just want to say is Python 2. There is something called as Python 2 series and 3 series. 2 series is completely very old, 3 series is a latest version. So there are some features they have disabled which are part of Python 2, they have disabled, which will not work in Python 3. So if any customer who want to upgrade from Python 2 to 3, it's not straightforward. But whereas from Python 3 version, they are maintaining this. So you can upgrade and degrade very easily, but from Python 3, you can't go to 2. From Python 2, you can't upgrade to 3 directly. There will be some changes with the libraries and all. Fine. So just to go to website, and presently I'm using some version 3.7.3. So you can use it anywhere, anyone. So just scroll down, you can receive that. And you can see here, there's something called as 64-bit executor installer, and 32-bit if you want, you can go with some things also. Now, so I will go with this Windows web base installer. Okay, so just click this, so it will start downloading the exe file, and I think it's got already downloaded. Just click on this and run the application. And you can see here there's something called as checkbox here, add Python 3.7 to path. So if you want to make it custom installation, still you can do it, but I just prefer using the install now functionality itself. Reason behind, it will install all the things, whatever the things it need it. So if you are disabling this directly, we can't work it. We have to set the environment variables where exactly the Python has been installed. So I always prefer using this, and after this just to go with install now. It start installation. Okay, and the reason behind is in my system it's already existing, so just we have to go ahead and press next, and just it will install. And once it has been installed, so just to go to command prompt, and you can just type Python hyphen version. You can see here I'm using 3.7.3. In the same way, something called as Python package installer. So this is also important, and it will come with the existing Python installation itself. You can check the version here for this also. Sorry, it's my mistake spelling. Yeah, so both are ready, and once you're done with this setup, so that means you are ready for your Python programming. So this is with respect to command prompt, and also one thing is called, we also getting installed Python IDLE. Okay, so let me search that. Yeah, so this is also installed as part of the installation also. So it is a direct programming. So why it is called as interpreted language, why it is called as dynamic typing, all these things I will explain now. Fine. So why it is called as interpreted language? See, so for example, I have given a equal to 10 over here. I have declared one variable a equal a, and I'm trying to assign some value to it, which is nothing but 10. So just press enter. Now the value 10 has been already given to a. So I'm not compiling, I'm not doing anything. By default, yes, by just typing an enter, it moved to the next line. The value 10 has been assigned to a. Now you might be worried. So what is the type of a? What is the type of it? Did I mention any int or something like that? No. So you can just let us try to understand the type of a. So for checking the type, this is a very simple syntax. Now just type enter. So what you got? Int. So don't worry about it. When we go into the detail, we can understand. So what do you call? Integer type. So I didn't mention anything. By default. The value a type is int. So that is called as dynamically typed language. So interpreter means, you hope you understood. I'm not converting any of my program into a class file or object file and then executing it. I can directly execute here itself, run execute, and here itself, right? And dynamically types. So what is the meaning of dynamic type is, see, so in other language, you have to give something like this. In other language, you have to give something like this, but here no need to give. For example, we have something called as float. So float type in other languages. So it also exists in this language. Let's suppose I'm declaring one variable 10.5. So any variable which is having a decimal, then we will declare the types as float. So now, but here I didn't do anything. So by default, it will take type of B as float. And let's suppose I'm declaring any variable and I'm assigning some value called as Naresh. What happened? It has been accepted. Let's try to understand the type of it. So what it called? String. So definitely Naresh is a string. So automatically the type has been assigned. So in the presentation, so let me go to starting point. Yeah. So this point, so I have covered. So interpreted means no need to compile. So just you can read this link. So your Python script is saved and executed in the same format in which you created the script. So no need of any compilation, directly in whatever the way you have written a script. Yes, you can directly do it, right? And the next thing is dynamically typed. So being dynamically typed means the Python parser infers or identifies the types of variables on the basis what kind of data you have been assigned to a variable, right? So hope you understood. Now one more thing, it's related to it. Now let's suppose see. So here anybody are aware of Java or C language? Anyone? If no one, that is also fine. Fine. So let's suppose I want to assign one value. So you can decide. What is this? So whereas if it is a C language, it will not accept because the integer having something called as limit of 32,729, something like this. So from there is some ranges for everything, but whereas this is accepted, whereas this is accepted. Now let us try to understand what is the type they might have assigned for this. Still int. There is no change in it. That means how much maximum we can give? There is no limitation. So we can go with anything. We can go with anything. So hope you understood the flexibility of it. So what Python is saying is, programmers, please concentrate on the logic which you want to develop. So everything I will take care. Everything I will take care in the background, right? So any long numbers, the performance or whatever, it will be performed very easily. For example, see, as of now, you have developed one application for multiplication. You have developed one calculator application, so which used for developing which is used for performing any multiplication operations, right? Okay, so but you have given some limitation saying that, for example, calculator. So even in your phone or even in your desktop application of the calculator, it has some limit. So you can't enter more than X number of characters. But whereas the programming, it should be flexible. Let's suppose I have developed one application, it should even work for several years. It should even work for several years. Now what happens if you go and relate it to any scientific calculation? Maybe today I will enter a maximum of 50 characters of any variables. Maybe tomorrow I may also include even a 200 or 100. So there is no limit for that. So if you are developing any application with respect to Java or something, if I declare any variable called as int earlier, okay, so the size has been freezed. That means it has some limit from. Now if you want to increase that, you have to go and change the program and then execute the program. So whereas in Python, no need to even look about it. So just go ahead and declare A or B, and internally whatever the value is assigned, it will internally uses and assign the type of it. So that is called as dynamically typed programming language. So any questions so far?
Yeah, Naresh.
Yes.
Yeah, how to store date time value in a variable like that?
Yeah.
Is there any function or what?
Yes, we have several functions. We have something called as time itself. Okay, so even directly we want to store also, yes, we can store. It will be stored in the form of string itself.
As a string, I think.
Yes, as a string itself. Yes, we have something called a type conversions. We can do it, we can achieve it. For example, you are reading from several sets from databases or something like that. It will accept in the form of string.
Okay, but we have to need to operate on that value, so it not able, no? If you are storing as a string, suppose I am
It is very
entering.
easy for conversion. It's very easy
Okay.
for conversion.
Okay, string to date time we have to convert.
Yeah, to dates or something. There are many functions in this. We can use it very easily. For example, see for name here, you can see here by default it is took a string.
Yes.
By default it took a string. So dynamically it will convert it. So if you are looking for any date, if you are accepting it from scene, definitely it will take it as a string itself. Now let's suppose even if you are accepting some values from a user, still it will accept as a string itself, right? We can convert it by just skipping int a. Simple. So whatever the value of a will convert into int. So this is type conversion. In other language, it's very difficult. Fine.
You can take the example. Just suppose we have taking a string and we have to enter the date 0102 1986, whatever time date.
Okay.
So
Okay.
how we have to convert in
Date
because we
format.
are storing as a
Okay.
string.
Okay. 1 minute. I will do one thing. Fine. I will declare one variable. Okay. Maybe what is today's date? It is 05 07 2020. Fine. So let us try to understand the type of it. I try to print type. So make it of a. So what is this? String, right? So we have something called as a. So what do you got? So I have just skipped the two characters.
As a array get to getting the according to indexing.
Yes, you can get it very easily with the help of indexing, and you can convert it with the help of int.
Okay.
Fine. So if you want, let us do. Okay. So b equal to a. Let's do something like this. Fine. So what is the value of b? Let us try to understand.
I think 05.
What you got? You got. Now let's try to understand the type of b. Okay.
B. It's integer.
No, I will just explain. Yeah. It is string. Okay. You can just convert it by just keeping b. So, but the thing is like you have to assign it to b itself. Now,
B becomes integer.
yes.
Okay, good.
Fine.
Good.
So this is how that much easy. So it's very easy language. So we can convert it very easily. Hope you understood, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And now, as of now, see, I have as I took this example. Let's go ahead. See, let's suppose you want to reverse this date. You just want to reverse this date. So how exactly you can do? So you have to use a reverse function or something like that. Okay. So, but in Python, you can use something like this. I'm saying all this thing to make sure that you understand how exactly Python is easy. So hope you understood the date which I have given, it's reversed. Got it, right? Okay. Let me show with some. Let me show with something called as name. Something you might have understood very clearly, right? So what I will do is I'll print. I'm directly printing. So I'm giving b. So don't try to understand what I'm trying to do it. Okay. So I'm just showing this much easy. This is called as parsing technique. Okay. So you can see here the name which I have given has been reversed. Now let's suppose you want to, there is an array. Just say you want to fetch the last occurrence of an array. It's very difficult, like we have to keep on going one by one. And now let's suppose in a db2 you want to understand the latest insert query, latest row inserted inside a table. Yes, with the help of this, very easily with the help of Python. So now let's suppose you want to find last character of the string the customer has entered. Okay, so what you can do, so we have something called as -1. So what you got? H. So which is nothing but the last character entered. So how exactly the Python works is, so indexing. So any string which will be stored something like this here. So if you go in a straight way, If you want to refer the first index, you have to give z1. So if you want to do it something called as, then you have to give -1. Let me take it something like this. What do we have to give? -1. So this is how we can fetch last character of an array. So if you give -2, you can give last second characters. If you go in a front way, it will go something like this: 1, 2, 3. So something like this it will go with. So hope you understood. So this is a concept of reading or reading, and we should not worry about the type and all, right? And you might have know it. So for let me go and show you one thing. Wait, right. So if you are familiar with C language, you can see here, this is a very simple code for printing hello world. So this much of thing you have to write for writing a single or printing a hello world. If it is with respect to Java, you have to write this much. So that means a main class has to be there. Under that we have to call a main method, which is nothing but public static void main, and then we have to call system.out.println method to input the hello world. Whereas in Python, it's very simple. Just to give this, let me clear the screen. Okay, this is not bad. Fine. Have to close and come back. It's fine. Okay, that's it. This is how the hello world program you can write in a simple straight one line. Okay, so here you should never worried about the size. He should never worried about the type, never worried about what we are inputting. A type conversion is very much easy. Converting a string in a reverse or something like that, it's very much easy. All right. And what are the things we can achieve with the help of Python? Means we can, and one program as some of the target audience are Oracle DBA. Now I will show you some small program where we can fetch the records from the database. Fine. So now let's target this, and let's go to, yeah, this is my Oracle Express application. So let's go to, so this is my Oracle Express application Express, so where I will use for writing queries and all. So let me log in. Yeah, let me go to SQL workshop. Let me go to SQL commands. Fine. So let me write one query, select star from EMP, and try to execute it. It's taking some time. Application is slow. 1 minute. Yeah. So you can see here, so this is an existing table, so which is present, and you can see, so this many tables are present or whatever. Okay, and this many rows are present as part of. So we can achieve the same thing with the help of Python with very few lines of code. If you go with Java or other language, it will take so much of lines of code, right? I have written already, so just I will show you and execute and show you. Fine, right? So with the help of this, you can achieve the same thing what we have done. And after this, you can even send an email with data whatever you had. So additionally, if you write another 10 to 20, 15 lines, you can even enable the email functionality for that. Okay, so you can see here I'm just trying to importing some modules, so which is nothing but CX Oracle. So this is the library which is already readily available, just you have to import it. So it has several methods to interact with the Oracle database, right? In the same way, there's something, so these are the lines of code which is required, so where we have to create one cursor and we have to call some methods and all. So we will learn it later on. And here you can see I'm trying to fetch something. And let me try to execute the same query in the Oracle database. Yeah. So you got some details. Okay, so these many rows are which are available. So let's try to fetch the same thing with the help of this code, right? So I have just changed my password. So let me edit the program. Okay. So where is this program? It is present in E drive. So let me go to my command prompt. So let me go to E drive. All right. Now Python fetch.py. So I'm just trying to fine, because it's in Python directory cd Python. Okay, so now let me try to execute it. Invalid username and password. Let me change it. 1 minute.
Naresh, I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as you said about Jython and Ruby Python, are they all inbuilt libraries which is part of Python, or is it something different?
It is something different because they have developed on Java.
Okay, so in case if we have to develop something, we have to use their CLI, install it, and then
Exactly.
code it, or how is it? Okay.
Yes. So this is specific to the IDLE which we are presently using, which is specific to Python. So, okay. So what happened means when you execute or write any program, it will be converted into a Python understandable language and then execute it. Okay. So but whereas if you are if you want any interpreter with respect to Java, because you need a .class file after development of your Python code. So for that we have to download a Jython, and there are some functionalities. Yes, you can import even Jython on this, but which is not recommended. Okay, so once you download a Jython, write your Python code and compile it. When you compile it, it will give us a .class file. So then you can convert into EAR file or WAR file as per your enterprise application or web application need, and then we can build and execute it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Where it was, I was facing some errors. I don't know what password I kept. Let me try it again. Yeah. So you can see I've executed or written the same things with the help of linking with the Oracle very easily. So you can see here I've just established a connection here, and then I'm giving a query over here. I'm trying to fetch it with the help of this. If there is any problem, you can do it. So otherwise we can try to fetch it. So maximum we have written only a 15 lines of code. That too you can see here there are several spaces, and this comments part, all this thing, if you remove it, so within 12 lines we can achieve interaction with the database, Oracle database. In the same way we can connect with MySQL database. In the same way we can connect with any other database whichever you want. Okay, and execute your things. And there are several things which I try to automate it. So in our organization, like timing things. So what is the performance? Let's suppose if there is any upgrade happens to a database, so we required how exactly performance, we required a performance how exactly it's working. So we have written a table spaces and fetching the details and the timing things. So before upgrading we will execute our program and check the timelines and all, and keep it in file, and then later on after upgrading, yes, we will execute the same program. So with the help of this, we can understand whether the performance has been upgraded or degraded, and table space cleaning activities, user logon management details, all these things we can achieve with the help of Python with respect to Oracle DBA person if you're targeting for that. Now let respect to something called as web scraping. So with the help of Python, yes, we can also do a web scraping. What exactly the web scraping is, let's suppose, see, you are a marketing agency, so you want to sell some software. Let's suppose you have developed one software for payroll management for payroll management of any. This payroll management system is suitable for any organization. Fine. So you want to market it. So if you are a customer, yes, you can market it with the help of Facebook or something. But how about companies? So what we required, their contact details by visiting their website. For example, if you want to visit TCS website, and then we have to go something called as contact us, and then we have to fetch their contact addresses and the email, the official email, and then we have to send an email with our proposal saying that this is what we have built. So there are lakhs of companies in our world, so I can't market it, or I can hire an employee to fetch all the details. Okay, it is very difficult. So with the help of Python, we can also do a web scraping. With the help of web scraping, yes, we can log in all the each and every website and get the required information to a required output file. So this is the concept of web scraping. And one more example I can give. Let's suppose I have developed an application, still it is working in progress, it's not completed. So let's suppose you want to buy any product. So we have seen something called as mobile prices comparison, flight prices comparison, but I have never seen any application groceries comparison. Let's suppose you want to buy any grocery, and you don't know the price of it, and you just want to understand. Let's suppose a shopkeeper said 100 rupees. You are thinking whether it is really worth or not, whether I'm spending extra amount or not. So just type it and just check for the price. With the help of my website, it will be compared across several applications who are selling a groceries like Flipkart, Amazon, Big's Basket, Grofers, and GeoMart, all this thing, and give the information to you in front of you. And now you can choose your vendor where you want to buy this product, rather than searching each and every application one by one. Let's suppose you want to buy something X, so you are going and searching Flipkart, you are going and search in Amazon, you are going and search in Big Basket, Grofers, and all. So instead of this, I'm developing an application which will just enter the grocery name. It will pull all the information from different websites and list it out in front of you. So by this I can get the information very easily. So hope you understood what exactly the web scraping means. So you can achieve this with the help of Python very easily. Fine. And one more thing, nowadays everybody is talking about AWS, right? So yes, so let's suppose you have to, let's suppose you want to see active users, or how many EC2 instances I have created, how many IAM users, how many S3 buckets are available. So whether they are in a starting stage or a stopping stage, so whether they have terminated or not, all these things, you have to go to a website, log in manually, and then let's suppose you are a root user, there are around more than 13 to 14 IAM users, you will go to each user and check all these things, right? So whereas we can automate this application, we have something called as Amazon, sorry, not Amazon, Boto 3. So let me show you. So this is the Python library which is specifically developed for Amazon Web Services, right? So you can see here, Boto 3 is Amazon Web Services Software Development Kit SDK for Python, which allows Python developers to write software that make use of services like Amazon S3, EC2, and many things else. Okay, so if you want to switch on some server, if you want to switch on some server, all these things we can achieve with the help of Python. So these are some of the examples which I'm saying, but you can achieve a lot of things with the help of Python. So now it's time for questions. If you have any questions, yes, you can discuss.
I have a question, Naresh.
Yes.
Can all Python programs be converted into Java programs or Java class files, or only those Python programs that do not have any Python packages included? Or some packages are allowed?
Yes, in a Jython, yes, you can completely use all the packages, and in Jython, yes, you can also use all the Python packages.
So all of them will be converted into Java or Java class?
Java class, yes.
Or there are some like exceptions, so some features of a Python language are not translatable into Java. That's the question.
As of now, yes, I have developed around 3 to 4 applications. All of them are working as expected.
Okay, and so the main tool for this is Jython, right?
Yeah, Jython, and we have also called as Rubython.
No, for Java specifically.
Yeah, for Java it is Jython. Yes,
Jython. Okay. And are there
Jython.
any
Yeah,
other alternatives? So there's only one.
there is only one.
Only one. Thank you so much.
We can call it as flavors of Python. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? So this is a session. I just want to make sure that why exactly the Python is and why exactly Python is getting popular and why Python is used in across the world. All these things. I hope and also show you how easy the Python is. So hope you might have understood. If you have any questions, yes, please free to ask me. Yes.
Hey, hi,
Um,
hey, Naresh, one question.
Yeah.
I see like you wrote a small script like to just extract select star from table. I mean select star from employees, right? So, but
Yeah.
again, because I'm a bit curious, like because usually if we want it automated on a database side, we do the shell scripting, right? So if we need a kind of any format, like we do a HTML, I mean shell scripting is supported as a HTML format as well, where we can if we need to compare any couple of databases, like where we can generate a report through a HTML format, it will be easy to understand, right? And also,
Yes.
if we want to do select star from the format, will be looks very promising and easy, right? Here the question is because I was just referring like because even Vinod Vinod and team was working on few scripts like to convert the shell scripts to the
Sketchup for
Python
Python.
scripts
Yes.
for monitoring. So that's what's handling. But the thing is, like I noticed, like the format was a bit uh, tough to understand, right? Using. So here, like what you suggest, like do HTML supports or do we have any other front end language
Yes.
to just like designing, etc. Right.
Yes, yes, we have. So the thing is like just for this to show you, we have hard coded here, right? That
Right.
means we can run this script only for employee table, right?
Right.
Okay. But I can convert this file into a exe file. Okay. Exe file also. Just no need to even going to this compiler and execute it. So just by double clicking that, you can execute it. And one more thing is like I can accept the things from you with the help of GUI, with the help of GUI. So let's suppose you want to fetch it from some other tables and you want to targeting where clause, something like that, and you are looking for a like parameter and you are looking for a latest records and you want to sort it with the help of a date. All these things, yes, we can take the inputs from the user itself. Just by executing it, it will ask you which table you want, from which table you
Mhm.
want. So how many rows you want, how many rows you want to fetch, all these things, yes, we can automate it. And the outputs you want, if you want, you can convert that into a JSON format, you can convert into a HTML format, and you can also convert into a XML format. So whatever the supporting formats you required, yes, you can convert.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. And other question also I have is like again because in my current environment or projects like we not at all using any kind of Python environment. But again, if I wanted in future, if I wanted to suggest like something like hey, in this way we can able to do. So is there any commercial license we need to buy or like it's a freeware like we easy to use
It's
in
a
for
freeware.
a company? Okay.
It's a freeware. It's an open source freeware. But the thing is like if your company is looking for any frameworks like Anaconda or PyCharm or something like that, then
Mm-hmm.
it's chargeable. Otherwise it's not. If you want to, if you are fine with this writing with Eclipse notepads and all, yes, it's freeware.
Okay. And the last question is like I also noticed like there is a web-based installer, the executable installer. What exactly that makes difference?
Okay, it's
Well,
not any different. Let's suppose, see, some people have a habit of command-based installers because they are familiar. Let's suppose if you are using a Linux, there is no GUI concept. So then we have to go ahead and install with the help of commands itself. You have to do ls and check where exactly the installer file are. Then we have to extract that file, and so all thing is same. Everything is same. At the end, this is what it will install.
okay, sounds good. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
So any more
Naresh,
questions?
I have a follow-up question. So when converting a program from Python into Java, using Jython. If a program in Python includes matplotlib, visualization, pandas, and numpy, will all of those be converted into Java?
Yes. One thing is like the Jython, what libraries Jython supports. If you can import these libraries into the Jython, then you can definitely use it.
Okay, understand.
So
Thank
for
you.
example, yeah, for example, this is the command line, right? Here I can import any of the libraries. So with the help of pip, you can install CX Oracle. So here you are using CX Oracle module. So with the help of this, we can install. So if you are able to install any of the library, yes, you can use it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So any more questions? So if no questions, Leather or Ajay, so can you take over?
How much time does it take for learning this?
Yeah, how much time? I can say if you are spending at least 2 hours per day. So for learning the basic needs of a Python, you can learn in 20 to 30 days. If you are spending 2 hours a day. But if you are looking for data science libraries, if you are looking for a deep learning concepts, if you are looking for a web frame developments, all the prerequisites is a core Python is required. So for I'm talking with respect to core Python, if you spend around 20 to 30 days per day, 2 hours, yes, you can learn. So if you are expecting data science, deep learning concepts, yes, it will take some time.
All right.
I think the organizers, I'm just waiting for them.
Guys, yeah. So
Yeah, later.
I think we are good. So any questions, you can just I'll ping the email address and also the Google form link again. So please give your feedback. Any questions you have, you can write to us. I'll just ping the email.
Yeah, please free to send us questions if you are facing any difficulty in understanding, or if you want to automate something. Definitely, I may respond soon. I may respond late, but definitely I will respond. So please please feel to contact. So thank you for all your time. I'm handing just over the session to Leather. Please, Leather, please continue. Thank you.